What's good? Last video update for the night. Just leaving right now, walking back from Starbucks as I spent past couple hours just finishing up one of the exams that I have to do for my work, which is just getting more associated with certain terms that I'll come across that clients will have. It was pretty interesting. While at Starbucks, the last hour and a half, I was sitting there, and then there was two separate couples. Well, I guess I could say potential couples that were both on dates. It was just interesting to hear where their conversations led. So that was interesting, to say the least. But yeah, while I've been walking and also working on my exam, I was listening to a podcast that I listened to before of London Rio. Brian Rose was interviewing former astronaut Chris Hadfield. I can't remember how many days he spent in space, but he spent a good majority of it, or he spent a good amount of time in space at the International Space Station. And I can actually remember exactly when and where I was listening to this podcast for the first time, which would have been in Australia, when I was walking from where I was living in the part of Sydney, which would be Randwick. And I walked from Randwick to La Perouse Beach, which is a suburb of Sydney. And I was listening to that podcast, so it was just funny how it re-triggered my mind. And again, like I was saying before, I like the different perspectives astronauts give from what they experienced being in space. It's pretty cool. This guy actually did a music video while he was in space of a parody to David Bowie's Major Tom. So he literally sang the song while in the International Space Station with the guitar. I think he lip synced it, but actually I could be wrong. He might have actually sung it himself. From what memory told me, or what I can remember from the podcast itself, I want to say he actually sang it himself, but I'm not totally 100% positive. Anyways, that's one of the podcasts I was also listening to today. On top of that, I bought some I bought some gum at Whole Foods, primarily because all the gum they sell at Whole Foods, it seems like, does not have the artificial sugar sweetener known as aspartame. And aspartame is pretty much in all major brand gums that you will find, and it's linked to over 92 different symptoms. And that was from a 1995 study by the FDA. And I'm sure now, if you look for more research on it, you'll find even more health symptoms coming from absorption of aspartame. And I know it can even link to show causes of certain type of cancers from the taking in of aspartame. So I'll try and do an update on what kind of gum or brand it is. I'm chewing it right now. It's not bad. Its consistency is a little different as far as kind of falls apart slightly rather than some other of the major brands that most people would probably be used to, such as Orbit. But that's just a little tidbit as far as avoid any type of food or content or substance that has the ingredient aspartame in it. And yeah, solid day right now. It's a little cool, but that's kind of expected late at night in Florida. When I say cool, my body's gotten used to the warm weather here. So cool for me right now is anything in the low 60s or I should say just low 60s and below. So I'm definitely enjoying my walks and skating I do on a daily basis now, covering a good amount of miles. I want to say I'm probably doing anywhere from 8 to 10 miles a day, skating / walking. Eventually, in the next couple of weeks, I'll get a bike once I get probably 1 or 2 paychecks down. Other than that, I'm pretty much just grinding the next couple of weeks to a month as far as mainly focusing on advancing farther into the training role I have at core and getting some other things squared away, and we'll see where I go from there. Anyways, this has been the Daily Xander, number 48. Growing as always, learning as always, evolving as always. Still need to work on failing more often here so I can grow more. And look at that. I'm at minute 5.5. So like I said before, it takes me about 5 minutes to walk from Starbucks and work on sharing my thoughts. This has definitely been a productive use of time as far as, I don't want to call these vent sessions. I just, like I said a couple videos ago, oh, battery just went low. I'm getting sidetracked. Like I said a couple videos though, this whole process of me documenting my my thoughts certainly allows me to become clear and concise when communicating to others, and it's a very useful activity that I can do. And I'll end it on that. As always, peace, love, unity, and respect. Catch you in the next installment.